All right. That was creepy.
Yeah, well, where did that come from?
Recording in progress.
Recording in progress. Must be a new feature in Zoom. I am totally leaving that in, by the way. How's it going this morning, Cam?
Going good. Glad that we've got a robot listening to us.
Yeah, weird.
And all of the other fine humans that are joining us for this episode. How are you, Mitch?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
You already asked me that. I said I was
Did I
doing
already
fine.
Yes. You did fine? I wasn't listening.
Oh. I'm doing
I was thinking about
great.
the robot lady voice that let us know that they were recording. And by the way, what's hilarious is it's not going to be in the episode. It's not going to show up in the recording, I bet.
Probably not.
And so everybody's going to wonder what the heck we were talking about.
All right, so this episode's starting off well.
Hey, you know what? We're just random crazy. That's all right.
It's all good. It feels like it's been a lot longer than 2 weeks, though, since we last recorded. I got to be honest. It feels like it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I'm not going to lie. Maybe. I feel a little bit like that. We still have a show.
We're here, aren't we? Yep. We're talking into microphones.
I think if my memory serves, this is episode 26.
Oh, that meaningful milestone. Episode 26. Just like your 26th birthday, Mitch. We always look forward to those.
Yeah, we record every other week, so that means that we're coming up on a year.
A year. Okay, that is more significant. I feel like a jerk now.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
You didn't remember our 1 year anniversary?
Inner Dialogue. Yes, we posted Inner Dialogue 25 last time. Mitch has got jokes. So hopefully we'll have a snappy title for tonight or today. I think officially our next episode will be our 1 year mark. So, because we recorded, you know what? I thought we recorded right before WDDC.
And podcast over.
Okay, so there's a reason why I just said that. I used to jock on WDDC in Portage here. So
that's a weird horse name,
right?
Not even a chuckle. I'm so disappointed.
No, that was bad. We recorded our first episode on June 14th last year. So technically, let's see, we'll be recording on the 12th. So yeah, so the next episode in 2 weeks will be our 1 year. Our 1 year anniversary, Cam.
Very exciting.
Yeah. You weren't listening, were you?
I was. Our 1 year anniversary on June 12th. I was thinking it's my sister's birthday as well. So it's a very meaningful day.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should get on with things instead of nasal gazing here. So that did not come out. Maybe we should move on here instead of nasal gazing. Nasal gazing? Navel gazing?
Yeah, we're looking at our noses.
All right. Show title. All right, we've established that I can't talk this morning. So, Cam, would you like to hit us up with the first topic this morning? Because I know this is one near and dear to your heart.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I go that far, but yeah. So I did a thing on my website where I put together a list of all of my recommended apps for the Macintosh, the iPad, and the iPhone, and it's a pretty exhaustive list, and it's stuff that I have. I've been using these things for a long time, and I have a very strong opinion on what apps should be good at and how they should function. If you haven't figured out that I have strong opinions on these things yet, then maybe you haven't listened to enough episodes, or maybe I should crank it up to 11. Mitch, what do you think?
I thought you were at 11 already.
Oh, am I? All right, then 12. Here we come. No, just kidding. That would be way too much. I don't want to be at. See, now I can't talk, Mitch. You're. Anyway, so there's I've got apps per category. So, like, apps that I use for automation, Bible, calendaring, all the way down to like podcasts, read it later, smart home control, news, task management, videography, photography, website stuff, writing, research, games, fun, audio editing, everything that you could think of. I've got recommendations with links to the App Store and the website. So it's a pretty comprehensive list, and it's a living, breathing document. So when things change or when I write reviews, those will be updated as well. So there'll be links to reviews that get written, and if I change my mind in a category or there's significant change in an application that I keep, I will make sure that the description's updated as well. So I just wanted to share that with folks in case they find it, interesting or useful. And if you hate it, that's great.
Yeah, I got to say, this is really well done, man. Looks good.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there's some apps on here that stand to be discussed in the future. So I do have to ask about Filmic Pro. I was looking at apps for recording and editing video while I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt like Filmic Pro is a little bit too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But
on my cable here. Hold on. Yeah. Haven't figured that part out yet. But I feel like Filmic Pro is a little bit much for using on vacation. I don't know if you're a user of it. You can give me a little bit of heads up. I'm not a professional video guy, so
yeah. So the thing about Filmic Pro is that you're able to control all of your video settings like you would on the manual mode of a video camera. So your frame rate, your shutter speed, your ISO, your aperture, all of that sort of stuff. You can shoot in log, you can use like focus peaking and like all of these fancy tools that usually belong on video cameras are now available on your phone. So if you want to dive in the deep end and start to get really nerdy about it and take manual control over your footage, it's amazing. If you just want to shoot stuff while you're at Disney World and not have to think about it and just grab your camera and take picture or take video stuff, then there's other apps that are going to be way more beneficial for you because there's not that overhead. So like I would recommend something like Spark Camera to you, which is also on that list, I think. Because that you can shoot your video and edit it all in Spark Camera, and it's as simple as just point and hold your screen and film and then let go and it stops recording, and then you can edit everything in it, and then you can export it. You can you can trim it, you can add music to it, you can add text to it, like anything that you'd want to do you can do inside of Spark, and it's really much more simple, but you still get the option to shoot like in 1080 or 4K, and you can do all that sort of stuff, do slow-mo if you want, but it's much more consumer oriented than pro. So
I anticipate that most of the video that I'm going to be doing is going to be with my DJI Osmo gimbal. So I'll probably be using the app that comes with that. Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out if there was any other apps that use that as a back end.
Well, so the other thing too is that you can integrate your Filmic Pro talks with your Osmo.
It does. Okay.
It does. Yeah. Or at least, yeah.
That was one thing that I was looking for, because it'd be nice to have something that was really simple to use, but at the same time, very powerful, that would work with the Osmo.
Yeah. And I guess the nice thing about Filmic Pro is that if you don't want to use all of the manual stuff, you don't have to, but it's a bit, it'd be like buying a loaded MacBook Pro to check your email and write Word documents. You can totally do that on it. It's just overkill. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it does talk to your Osmo. So that is a nice feature. So when you hit record on your Osmo, it starts recording in Filmic.
Good.
And then, yeah.
All right. Well, it's just it's hard for me to pay $15 for an app that I'm going to use twice while I'm on vacation, and then I'm going to be frustrated with it and then go to something else. So I'll think about it, but I may have to pass on it. So, but it is something that I was curious about. So I did notice that you had Fantastical on your list, and we've talked about Fantastical in the past, but there's a big change this last week. Did you see? It's no longer a Fantastical subscription. It is now FlexiBits Premium.
Seriously?
Why is that significant?
I don't know. Why is it significant, Mitch?
Because they added Car Hop in that. Card Hop.
What's Card Hop?
It's their contacts management app. I'm surprised you don't know what this is.
I've never heard of Card Hop before.
Well, let me, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the show notes real quick, and then I'm going to send you a link so that you can take a look at this. They've had this out for a few years. It's basically been a contacts manager, for lack of a better way to put it, on steroids. That it just does a lot more stuff. It's something that I haven't used because contacts isn't really a big thing for me as far as using a contacts manager. I mean, the only times I really use it is when I go in to add somebody. Otherwise I'm not going in and doing a whole lot of work inside the contacts app. But what Card Hop does is it adds a whole bunch more features to it. There's a relations feature, where it'll show you a kind of an org chart, so to speak, of the relations that you have with the different people in your contacts. I mean, I'm sure there's a setup involved in all that. In the iPhone app, and I'm not going to do this 100% justice, I know, but in the iPhone app, I know that they do have like all your birthdays, so you can just go into the birthday tab and it shows you what birthdays are coming up. It's way nicer looking as well. You can scan business cards in it, which is kind of neat. There's Siri shortcuts integration. There's a widget or widgets. So it's just a really neat thing. I haven't used it a ton yet, but I already like it. And being that it's part of the FlexiBits Premium subscription, it comes basically with your Fantastical subscription now. So I figured, why not? It's at least prettier. I don't know that I would have subscribed to this by itself, but it adds value to the Fantastical subscription. So I think it's cool.
Interesting. It's definitely designed by FlexiBits. That's for sure. You can totally tell. And I must say, because I'm a child, whenever someone says it's like this but on steroids,
I know, I hate it.
No, I just hear their voice sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger for the next few minutes. Like, yeah, Card Hop has widgets and shortcut integrations. Yeah, do it. Put your name in my contacts.
Do it now.
Do it now. You idiot. When is my birthday? Anyways.
I would say that this podcast has gone off the rails, but I'm not sure if it was on the rails to begin with. So,
yeah, who takes trains? Fly in the air. Get to the chopper.
All right. Anyway, the other thing that I was going to mention too is we've talked about Stream Deck in the past by Elgato. Really cool little piece of hardware where you can map all your shortcuts, and you can do stuff that's application specific and all that kind of stuff. So there's some cool stuff you can do with that. And what I didn't realize, and maybe you did, is there's an app for the iPhone that does the same thing. So if you want this capability, or you want to try it out and see if it's something that you'll use, it's pretty cool. The app, I believe, is free, or if it's, I think there's a subscription.
Yeah, it's like $1.99 or something like that.
Yeah. But it's a neat little app that at the very least gives you the ability to try it out and see if it's something that you would like before purchasing, before putting down $150 or whatever for a Stream Deck.
How many buttons do you get in the app?
I think it's 15. I think it's basically a 15 button Stream Deck. I was kind of hoping that if you put it on the iPad that they would expand it to like the 32 button version, but that's not the case. I think the iPad is basically just using the iPhone view on the iPad. So there's really no app for the iPad.
Gotcha. Bummer, dude.
Yeah.
I like my Stream Deck. It's it is nice.
Well, there's a couple of shortcuts that I use a lot when I'm editing the podcast and when I'm editing audio and stuff like that. That I mapped it into the Stream Deck, so now I almost don't even need my keyboard in front of me. I can just put my phone and the Stream Deck and just swipe through, make an edit, hit a button, make an edit, hit a button, and it's so much smoother than having to take my hand off my trackpad to do a keyboard shortcut and then move back over. It just makes it a little bit quicker and a little more productive. So I like it. Cool. Well, we are doing something kind of fun today. I hope it's going to be fun, and or it's going to be something else. I don't know.
Stay tuned to find out.
But we are doing our non-competitive, non-scored, but yeah, kind of scored and maybe a little bit competitive predictions episode today.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be fun to do something that we tried not to be too competitive, but I don't think either one of us is going to do very well at that. So let's be honest.
I'm gonna win.
There's going to be a winner.
Yeah. Yes.
So we've got the WWDC keynote coming up in a couple of weeks. Actually, in about a week from Monday, as it is the 29th of May right now. We thought we would go through and talk about our predictions for the keynote on Monday. So how I want to do this is you're familiar with the snake draft format?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think this would be the most fair way to do it. One of us will
Since
start.
you asked me 2 minutes before we were recording if I wanted to do a prediction show.
Yeah, I haven't given it a whole lot of thought either. So just to be fair.
Sure, Mitch. So, sure.
Yes, I've been looking at rumors all week.
The competition has already begun before I even knew it.
So, but we have opinions and things that we'd like to see, and maybe some predictions that we'd like to make on things, and a lot of this is probably going to be wish casting, just because that's what we do. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to put down some of these and see how we do. Have a little fun with it, and like I said, it's non-competitive and non-scored. So, I can't drink my coffee because I'm laughing.
Yeah, well, lying has that effect.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let I'll start with I've got Mac OS first. I'll start because I'm going to let you go first. Oh no, I'm looking at it wrong. I'll let you start because I'm going to let you go first when we get to the iPad.
Oh, you're so nice.
Because I think I already know what you're going to say about the iPad. So,
because I've said it every episode for the last 2 months.
Incessantly for about 6 months now. So Mac OS, what do you think we're going to see?
I think we're going to see shortcuts on the Mac, Mitch. That's what I think we're going to see.
I like that idea. Automators kind of become a little bit antiquated. And I think that having shortcuts on the Mac definitely could be a cool feature. The hard part about Mac OS is that it's so mature. I wouldn't have guessed like a overhaul of the design last year either. And they just overhauled the design and made it look really nice.
Oh, they got to do something.
Oh, for sure. I think if I'm going to make a prediction, I'm going to just say that we're going to see some menu bar integration, like some menu bar icons move into Control Center. I'll even take that one step further and say third-party integration in Control Center.
Okay.
Like third-party apps will have access. Will there be an API or something along those lines? That there'll be third-party
menu bar kit.
Something like that. That they'll be able to move their stuff into Control Center.
Be really funny if Apple called it bartender. Oh wait.
Whoops. Third-party apps in Control Center. Put that in the notes.
So we get one prediction per category?
Well, if you want to make extra, there's only 1 point available per category.
But if I make 10 predictions, then I increase my chance of getting that point.
Well, we'll maybe we'll figure out.
I won't make 10.
Wait, we're not keeping score, remember?
Yeah, sure we aren't.
We could make it 10. What is it? 10 points per and grade accordingly.
Yeah, are we gonna get participation awards? We can call our predictions the participaties.
The participaties. Oh boy.
All right, go ahead.
Did you have any other predictions
you
wanted to make?
Yeah, so I mean, maybe not predictions, but stuff I'd like to see is I want widgets on the desktop and not stuck in Control Center. And I'll stop there. I don't want to make a bunch more, but yeah, those are the two that I would really like to see.
Yeah, widgets on the desktop for sure. I would love to see.
The other thing I hear people complain a lot about is like multi-screen support and Big Sur is garbage. But I run one 4K display on my Mac Mini, so I don't run into that issue. But for those that it would be nice for a modern operating system to be able to handle multiple displays. That seems ridiculous, but it's not a problem I have or that I deal with on a regular. So I won't make a prediction about it, but it is something that I've heard quite a bit.
Yeah, and this wouldn't be a prescription. What is wrong with me this morning?
I got a fever, Mitch, and the only prescription is more predictions.
So the prediction that I'm going to have when I was in radio, if I had words that I was having trouble with like this, I would just write them down in front of me so that I could just look down and be like, oh yeah, that's the word that I need to use. I think I need to start doing that when we podcast. Oh boy. So I'm not going to make this a prediction, but I think that I use spaces a lot, and I know that that's not super popular amongst people, but I really like using spaces, and I'm using spaces right now because I've got you on the left side of the screen, you and me on the left side of the screen, and I've got our show doc on the right side of the screen, so that I can see you and I can be looking over at the show doc at the same time. I would like to see the ability to quarter off the screen instead of just side by side, or to be able to have 3 columns.
Okay, so I have a quick question for you. Clarify. When you say spaces, you're not talking. That's the multiple desktops that you can swipe between.
Correct.
Okay, but you're talking about like multi-window snapping, right?
No, I'm actually talking about in spaces being able to run more than 2 apps at a time. Be able to do 4 apps, or 3 apps and 3 columns. Because you can only do 2 apps.
Bro, I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
I'm about to blow your mind. Get out of full screen real quick.
Okay.
And then hold down Option and put your mouse over the green button. You got quarters, my guy.
Where do I have quarters? I have tile window to left of screen, tile window to right of screen.
And then you've got top and bottom, right?
No. Are you running an app that could be doing that?
No, it's a system thing. It doesn't matter if it's Safari. It doesn't matter if it's Zoom. It's built into the system. So like if you just normal hover over the green, you've got full screen, left, right, top or bottom. And then if you hold down Option and hover over the green, you've got center, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right as options.
I did see in your list of recommended apps, there was a window management app in there.
Boom, which is a stupid name for an app, but most of them are stupid. But I don't have, maybe is that? Quit. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I didn't think I had Moom on this computer. I thought I only had it on my Mac Mini. Oh, I'm so dumb, Mitch. I am so dumb.
Is this what I'm missing?
Yes, you need. I'm so stupid. Oh
But
my
does that
god.
work in Spaces, or is it or is it just work on a regular desktop? 'Cause, I mean
So
that's
if
not.
I do that, yeah, no, it's just window management. I'm so stupid. I apologize to you and everyone that I have wasted their time with. You need Moom to do that, Mitch, and it just resizes your windows.
No, you're all right, man. I don't think you're stupid.
I forgot I had it on this computer. That's how
Hmm.
long it's been. I thought it was just on my Mac Mini, but here I am lying to you.
It's all right. And I'll go ahead and throw Moom into the show notes. So if you're curious and would like to see it, there you go.
So dumb. So dumb. Anyways, let's move on from that horrific car accident.
You got any predictions for iOS? Oh, that's right. It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I've got a couple of things, and I'm going to say one of them so that I don't take anything from you, just in case. But I definitely think that they need to do more with widgets. I want to see more interaction, maybe even animation within the widgets. But I think for the prediction, I'm going to say more interaction with the widgets. So I'll let you go ahead. I mean, really, for me, like I just think that right now it's people are hacking a way around some of the limitations, but I would love to see those widgets become almost like little applets. You know, to be able to do little like simple tasks instead of having to go into the app for everything.
That would be very nice, wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
it? All right. Predictions for iOS. Ye old iPhoney. Um, I'd like to see app library moved to be able to get to from swiping up from the bottom or some other such integration. Also, I mean, honestly, right now, when you swipe down from the top, or pull down, not all the way from the top, when you get the search and you get the Siri suggestions and all that crap, just put the app library there because search is already built into that pull down
Mm-hmm.
and search is at the top of app library. So I don't understand why you just don't merge those two. Have search at the top, have that be your app library. Siri suggestions, okay, that's also part of the app library. The top leftmost bucket or folder is suggestions. So they're literally swiping down from the top is literally a less functional version of the app library. So I don't understand why that's not just the app library. That should be the app library. Is that going to happen? No. Should it happen? Yes. Still going to be my prediction. I'm gonna fall on my sword on this one, Mitch. That's what I want to see. I want to see that be the app library.
Yeah, I
Because
think that makes total sense.
I've stopped using the app library because all I do now is I have one home screen that's got one widget at the top and then 4 rows of apps, and then I've got a secondary screen that's a dashboard of widgets. And then if I want any other app on my phone that isn't in the dock or on the home screen, I just pull down and search for it. And honestly, Siri suggestions is actually pretty good because apparently, I'm a robot and do certain things at certain times of the day, and it's actually picked
Mm-hmm.
up on it, which is super helpful. Like it knows when I want to check my email, it knows when I want to, open Safari, and it pretty much keeps those there all the time, anyways, because those are like, or when I want to open Instagram or check my wallet, that sort of stuff. So it's really helpful. But if they could just make that the app library, it's just more efficient and it streamlines everything and it's more feature rich than the current pull down screen is. So that would be a big improvement, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think we've actually talked about that before, and I think I suggested that as a possibility as well. So that's the way I remember it, at least. All right. Well, when you're ready, go ahead and hit us with your iOS or your iPad OS predictions.
Yes. Well, gee, I bet you can't guess what I'm about to say.
Hmm.
I have multiple requests here. Let my widgets go. Let me put them on the home screen. Get them out of a widget prison over there on the left-hand side. They just made the iPad Pro. The one that I have, the 2021, is crazy powerful. The one that they just released crushes mine, and it's a year old. It's insane. Why can't I put widgets where I want to put widgets? So dumb.
So
I beat that horse to death, so I will stop.
You are like the Widget Moses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Let my widgets go. free, set them free.
I think you're going to have to do it without plagues, though.
Well, yeah, that's okay. We say that word differently too. I call them plagues.
I call them plagues too.
You say it very differently.
Oh. I'm from Wisconsin. You're in Illinois.
I know, but you would think that plagues would actually be the way it's said in Wisconsin because of the northern nasally. But
it's plagues. What? Why are we saying this different? I don't get it.
The first time you said it, you said plagues, and I thought
plagues.
That's how you said. Yeah, it's all good.
That's my my Bostonian accent.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, I want widgets that are free to roam, like the Buffalo of the West. And I also want, unsurprisingly, Logic and or Final Cut on the iPad. Please. I want them. We now have the M1 chip in the iPad. We can now have 2 terabytes of storage on an iPad. The other shoe must drop at WWD. Like, it might be Xcode. And, that's it's a developers conference. So having Xcode on the iPad announced there makes 1,000,000% sense. But I want the audio and video tools that I use on the iPad, because that would just be awesome. But again, I talked about these ad nauseum, so I will leave it at that. And also, one more, better multitasking. I still have to look up how to invoke slide over, because I use it so infrequently that when I want to do it, I'm like, oh crap, how do I do this? And also,
you gonna leave me anything here?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I'll stop. No, I'm you're gonna have to file an antitrust lawsuit against me in the iPad category. I'm sorry. There's no competition here.
I'm taking one of yours. I'm taking Final Cut. I think Final Cut for
jerk.
I'm taking Final Cut for iPad.
How rude.
That's what I was gonna say. We didn't make an express rule about this, but I was really nice to you in the the iOS category, where I only said one thing and let you go. So I'm taking Final Cut from you.
Fine. I was gonna say. I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. You got me all mad. Taking Final Cut. All right, go on to tvOS. Go.
Hold on. I wanted to go back to iOS real quick, because I did forget to say that I would like to see a theming system. Since that's been so big this last year. I can't say that a majority of people are doing the theming stuff, but the people that are doing it are having fun with it. And I would love an easy way to theme my iPhone. So adding a little bit more customizability to the look of the iPhone would be good. Even if it's just like adding, being able to change color accents or something along those lines. Even just some simple theming. But I think theming would be really neat. Be able to change the look and how everything works on the iPad. I mean, they've been doing custom icons for a lot of the third-party apps. To be able to do some theming and have the ability to do custom icons to match the themes and not have to basically use shortcuts to do it, I think would be really neat, because I don't really want to do it through shortcuts personally. I'd rather have some kind of native theming system. So anyway, tvOS. I don't know. Um, hardware wise, it was nice to see a new Siri remote. We got picture in picture last year, which exploded on the device and has been really enjoyable to use.
I don't think any of the.
That's sarcasm.
Okay, I was going to say, I've yet to be able to use it.
Yeah.
You can use your fancy console controllers now for all those games you play on your Apple TV, Mitch.
Mm-hmm. You can do that. I don't know.
Can I go? I have
Yeah,
one.
go ahead. If you got something, go ahead.
So I want an actual home app on the Apple TV, not this little hidden thing that you have to like hold the home button, it slides over where you choose like your Bluetooth and there's a little home icon, and then you're like, oh, I can look at my camera. I'm out in my front yard in picture on the slide over thing. It's not even really picture in picture, it's just in that slide over. I should be able to control my home with an app on the Apple TV, since that is the home hub for a lot of people in their house. Why is that the only place that doesn't have a home app when it's the hub? It's quite ludicrous when you think about it that way, that it doesn't exist there. So I should be able to control my lights. I should be able to look at my cameras. I should be able to do set scenes. I should be able to do everything through my home app on my TV. That's what I want, Mitch, on tvOS.
I'll put it in the show notes.
I'm adding it right now. I'm going to get my credit. You better believe it.
I'm going to cheap out here. So we used to do a pick'em for our wrestling events back in the day. And every once in a while, you just had to pick an easy one. You know, that point that you were definitely going to get, you know, so-and-so interferes in this match, you know, or something like that. Because it was
John Cena goes over. Who saw that coming? Big match. John does it again.
So I'm going to throw this in here, and I might lose this point, but I think that new screensaver, like a new screensaver package for the aerials.
The lowest of all the fruits, Mitch. I'm so proud of you. Good job.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure how to phrase that in here.
And you're not even going to predict what the content of said new package is going to be. You're just going to say a new set of screensavers.
And I'm probably pegging myself a little bit too close to say they're aerial, because they might actually just make a new screensaver altogether that you can pick from. But you know what I should? Okay, I'm going to make a risky pick. Widgets come to tvOS.
Interesting. Widgets. That is a risky pick. I like it though.
It's bold. It's passionate. If you don't listen to Connected, you don't get the joke, but yes. I just made Federico proud.
He's a passionate pick.
All right. So Widgets on tvOS is my pick for that. You first or me?
You. Oh no,
I think you're first on WatchOS.
Yeah. WatchOS. Oh, great. I want a fully featured home app on my watch. No. Wait, there is one. I can do more on my watch with home than I can with my TV. That's insane. My TV is quite literally like 700 times bigger than the watch. Oh, the more I think about this, the more ridiculous it is. Are you catching that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that coming through clearly?
Yeah, I think it has everything to do with priorities and how much money they make on the products. So,
but it's the home hub. Like, ugh. Anyways, WatchOS. What do I want from WatchOS? Gosh, I don't know. It's fine. I have watch faces. I can now have multiple widgets or complications, right, of the same. I don't know. Better battery life.
I'm sure that'll come with hardware or possibly come with hardware, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing about the watch that bothers me. I look at it to get the time and to check the weather. And
so had
that's
they
really
not
about it.
had they not officially announced the assisted touch feature for the iWatch or the Apple Watch? You've seen that, by the way, haven't you?
No.
Okay. I'm going to put a video in the show notes for you guys so you can look at it. But had they not announced that already, I would have just said a push into more accessibility for the Apple Watch, just based on the rumors. But they announced the assisted touch this last week, I think. So, oh shoot, where did it go now? But yeah, so you can, instead of touching the surface of your Apple Watch to do things, you can now, or I don't think it's available quite yet. I'm actually not sure. I was trying to look before we started the show to find to figure out when they were going to release this feature. But it's going to be an accessibility, and basically what it does is it uses the gyroscope and accelerometer in the watch, so that when you clasp your hand or you do different gestures with your hand, it does different things on the screen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to touch your watch. You can just look at your watch and double clench to hit OK. You know, like maybe to answer a phone call, you just double clench your fist. You move your hands in different ways. There's apparently going to be a like a mouse pointer on there that you can control by the way you move your hand.
Interesting.
It's you know, it answers the issue of like folks that have limited mobility, say with
well, like
like
someone
maybe they
like
don't
my
have
mom.
another hand.
Well, someone like my mom who has really advanced MS, her right hand
Mm-hmm.
is essentially useless, but her
Yeah.
left hand she still has some control over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like there's no way she could use her right hand to do anything on a watch on her left. Now she's never going to wear a watch, but she would be a prime candidate for this feature, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And I haven't seen anywhere where they're actually going to release this. Or when it's going to be released.
I bet they talk about it at WWDC.
Possibly. But it feels cheap to pick that since it's already been announced that it's coming.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool, so it's definitely worth going with.
I'm just going to say accessibility feature. And the assisted touch will not count. Some new accessibility feature. So it seems like they're putting some focus into that as it is. So, all right. Did we miss anything?
There's one thing on iOS that I want to go back and mention.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you run an automation through shortcuts, there's a little thing that pops up. Even when you say like, or when you run a shortcut, it's like, oh, it pops down and there's a little like check mark. And that's gotten a lot better because it used to be like, now it's just a little thing at the top. I want the ability to remove those notifications. Like if I have an automation, just run the automation. Don't tell me you're running it. Don't ask for my confirmation. Like you can turn the confirmation on and off, but it still drops down a thing. And some of them you still have to interact with, like if you want to change your wallpaper or whatever based on a certain thing. But like if I have a shortcut on my home screen to open an app, just open the app. Don't have that little, compact UI drop down. If I'm running an automation that like at 5:00, I want you to turn my light orange so that I know it's time to end work. Just turn my light orange and don't tell me anything on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be a feature or like an opt out thing. Like I should have to untoggle it so that people don't make crazy automations and then break things. And I think that's why it's there. But like, I know what I'm doing. I should be able to not have my phone light up and say, running your automation. Well,
Yeah.
just run it. Just
Yeah.
run it. Just do
Yeah.
it. So, anyways. And that's like across iPad and iPhone, but that would just be just one of those like quality of life improvements. It's like, oh, you care about me. Thank you.
So, I have a question for you.
All right.
Do you use Apple Pay
Yeah.
a lot?
Yeah.
Do you use it on your watch?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just recently started doing that more, and it is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was always afraid that you're gonna be that idiot standing at the thing going like banging your watch against the thing and it's not working. So I didn't want to look like an idiot.
Why won't you take my money?
Right. But I learned double tap on the button,
Mm-hmm.
not on the crown. Double tap on the button. It pulls up your default card. If you want to change the card, you just scroll through and find it. By the way, it used to be that you had to use your Magic Pass, or if you wanted a Magic Pass for Disney, that you had to buy one of their little wristbands. They now have it on the Apple Watch. So yeah, you can just walk up and hold it up to the sensor and you walk into the park just like that. Yeah. I think you can I want to say you can use that to pay for stuff too, but that sounds like a terrible idea. But I have my the card that I'm going to be using there on my Apple Watch already. Why would I go through the Magic Pass? So, but I have found that to be a revelation because we have vending machines at work that use Apple Pay.
Seriously? That's pretty cool.
I love it. So I just walk up and, I select 205 because that's the Coke Zero location because I occasionally get a Coke Zero at work. So 205 and then check out. And then I double tap, hold it up to the thing, bing, done. And then the guy behind me calls me a weirdo. So, but I'm okay if he's calling me a weirdo because it works. So,
well, then when he uses cash, do you turn around and call him a drug dealer?
Why do you carry cash? Really? Crazy people. All right. Well, do we think we're going to see any hardware? I know there's a lot of hardware rumored for this year, but
I don't think so. If this goes the way that I think it's going to go, I just don't know if there's time. I think they would do a separate event. I mean, they're going to do it. Like there's the iPhone event in September, right? That we all know. Like we can.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna see an iPhone and a new watch in the fall.
Yeah, and so I wonder if they save. It could go one of two ways, right? They announce the brand new top end MacBook Pro, hoping all the developers will go out and buy one. It's available in a week, to go along with, or they all buy a new iPad Pro because Xcode's on it, but they have to wait 2 months because the shipping deadlines are already pushed out. So, but my hunch is there won't be any hardware announcements. I should say there won't be any. Yeah, I'm going to go out on my risky pick will be there's no hardware announcements, none.
Okay. What I will say, I'm tempted to say no, but there are a couple of pro computers that are in the pipeline, based on rumors. And I kind of wonder if we won't see a preview of something like the Mac Mini Pro or like a Pro Mac Mini. Maybe they won't call it a Mac Mini Pro or a Mac Pro Mini or Pro Mac Mini or Mini Mac Pro. We're so good at naming things around here.
Well, I mean, we could work for Apple.
There's a possibility that we could see something, but it would have to be pro related, and possibly if they're not releasing the hardware right away, maybe a preview for the Mac developers. But I lean heavily towards no. But just just to make things interesting, I'm going to put in a preview of Pro hardware. So that's going to be my official pick. Preview of Pro hardware of some sort. So that would include MacBook Pros if they do preview a MacBook Pro. So I'm going to keep it kind of broad since.
But if they call the new Mac Mini the Mac Mini Max and not Pro, you don't get the point. I was just thinking how like what's a really dumb name they could call that's not Pro? Oh, the Mini Max, because
I almost just want to make this yes hardware instead of zero hardware.
Well, I mean, that's what mine was, zero hardware announced. Yep. I made it as completely black and white as possible for that very reason.
Well, I'm just gonna change this to yes hardware.
I love it. I love it. We have a true binary option.
Exclamation point. So anything else, like just overall things that we could see, kind of maybe this is a wild card guess at what we could see. They've kind of dealt with, I mean, could we see anything service wise?
Well, I mean, so what I find interesting is that they announced the spatial audio and the lossless stuff ahead of WWDC.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that that's the developers conference and that music announcement probably doesn't necessarily fit. And it was obviously my assumption is something they can announce ahead of time to pick up an extra 5 minutes in the presentation. But like with how they've handled it, like I know we weren't going to talk about this. We were going to wait until it was actually out and we can review it. Mm-hmm. But how it's been handled with what can and can't run it and what you need and this and that, and it just seems like the ball has been dropped in an opportunity to clearly communicate what it is and how you can actually use it and what you can use it on. And so I'm just wondering, because it's supposed to come out in June, right? So I'm just wondering, would it not have been better for them just to wait until WWDC, take those 5 minutes and say, here's what it is, here's how you can use it, you can start doing it tomorrow or on Monday, right? Instead of giving the tech media 3 weeks to just, rip it apart. So I'm wondering if they do take time at WWDC to talk about it, just as a straight PR move. Okay, look, here's really what's going on. Because like Apple puts themselves in these positions sometimes, and I don't understand why. Like this iPad Pro that is bonkers with the M1 comes out a month before iOS and iPadOS 15. So like we're left with this, well, what does that mean for iOS 15? Which is a good thing, but it's also like they could have announced iOS 15 at WWDC and been like, and boom, new iPad Pro with an M1 chip, and all the developers could have bought it on the spot.
Yeah.
And actually gotten it and used it if it has Xcode to develop their apps. Like the timing of some of their stuff doesn't make sense to me. And so I guess my overall thought is I'm super, super, super excited for what they're going to announce about iPadOS 15. What that means for iOS 15, I'm not so sure, but I'm like counting down the days to see what iPadOS is going to look like. So that's not an overall prediction. I'm really, really interested to see what they deliver for the iPad and for everything else, obviously. But to me, that's like because of what they've released ahead of time, like they have dangled that carrot very well, which is why I think they did it. But I also think if they're going to put Xcode on it, they kind of, I don't know, maybe developers are smart. Developers are smart. They can read the tea leaves. They know. So maybe, they all got what they wanted, or they all bought one, assuming what was coming. But that's an expensive assumption. You know what I mean? So anyways, I rambled a bunch there, but my overall takeaway is I'm really excited for the whole show. I'm exceptionally excited for what they're going to announce about the iPad.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, I think that there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see, pro apps start coming this year, and I think from the way things are positioned with the new camera upgrades and stuff like that, I think that they're positioning this for a Final Cut, And that's just them flexing and saying, hey, look what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why I think that'll be one of the first apps that we're going to see. Xcode makes sense at a developers conference, but I think there might be some technical challenges to doing that we're not privy to.
Because we are not developer. Yes.
Yeah. Because it seems to me like there's just a lot, like with the compiling and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of heavy lifting that Xcode does that might be really challenging. Or maybe it's a companion app.
You're definitely right. There's a lot that we don't know, right? But my gut feeling is that one of the reasons that Swift UI became a thing and has gotten such a strong push by Apple to try and make these catalyst or universal apps, right, is so that eventually they could do it on an iPad. And yeah, I would be surprised if they don't pull Xcode off on the iPad at WWDC. But again, you could be absolutely right that there's just limitations currently. But with the M1 chip, like you can run Xcode on a Mac with an M1. So I know it's not just a chip. Like the operating system has to be able to do certain things. But man, it would feel really weird if it couldn't, you know. And maybe it's just limitation, and they'll do it next year. But we'll find out in like a week, in a couple days. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a good time of the year, Mitch.
Yeah, I always enjoy WWDC. Even not as a developer, it's a good time. So I like it. So you have anything that's delighting you today, sir?
That's a good. Yeah, you know what? I went over some new friends' house last night with a couple, two other families from church, and we grilled out and we had dinner, and we just sat around this giant dining room table, and we just told stories, and we laughed, and we ate good food, and we cracked jokes, and we talked about church and the Bible and family, and it's like, man, this is what it's like to like be around people. And if I hadn't gone there last night, I would have sat at home by myself watching basketball. And it was so nice to just be with people and, strengthen friendships I already have and make new friendships with this new family, and the wife of this couple, she's a professional photographer, and we got to talk about that, and that was really fun. And I'm actually going to be her second shooter for a wedding later this month, which is awesome. So it was just, it's just good to spend time with people and laugh and have fun and tell stories. And I think we could all use a lot of that in the coming months to make up for the past 15 months or whatever it's been.
Yeah. So did they lift the mask mandates in Illinois then, or did you guys have them?
No, we weren't wearing masks, but everyone's been clean for whatever. I have my first shot. My second shot's on Tuesday, which I'm super excited about. But it's nobody was what's the word, sick. So
yeah. So I think we talked that I'd gotten my second COVID shot a few weeks back, and I posted this on Twitter because I was just way too excited not to. Right after we recorded our last episode and released the last episode, that Monday, somebody suggested that there might be something going on with a mask mandate our mask rules at work.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday morning, I got up and I checked Reddit, because Reddit's become a thing for me lately. I don't know. It's I follow a few subreddits now that make me happy. So, but I saw that somebody had posted an which they shouldn't have done, but somebody posted an internal communication for the place that I work that outlined if basically our change in mask policy that allowed anybody who is fully vaccinated, being defined as 2 weeks after your second shot,
Yeah.
could stop wearing their masks. Dude, I have not been this happy in a very long time. I'm telling you, because it's one thing to have to wear a mask for 15 minutes when you go into 15 minutes to a half an hour when you go into the grocery store in a day, but when you've got to wear it for 8 hours a day,
oh, I can't even imagine. Yeah,
it sucks. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I found this out prior. I don't think I did. I think it was that next week that my wife and I had to go in and get our physicals for the foster to adopt program that we have to get foster certified. Mm-hmm. And we had to have a physical as part of that. So we went in to get our physicals, and I started asking the lady about some breathing issues that I was having and stuff like that. And she looked at me and I haven't had problems with my asthma for 20 years now. Or 20 plus years. And she looked at me and she's like, well, here's the thing. We have a particularly difficult or particularly challenging allergy season. And she's like, and you're wearing masks all the time. And she's like, those two things are wearing on your lungs. And she's like, what I hear in your lungs is asthma. And I'm like, sweet. So my asthma's back. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
Jerk. So I have an albuterol inhaler, and I am supposed to be going to pick up a prescription for Singulair today. So I'm back on medication for my asthma. So that's awesome.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that part of it doesn't delight me, but the fact that we don't have to wear masks is pretty cool. So I will reiterate, it is so nice to be getting past all of this COVID stuff. I can't say that I ever really stopped hanging out with people. We don't hang out with people that much anyway, but our friends, for the first little bit, we were doing Zoom hangouts and like playing games over Zoom and stuff like that. And, that was fun, but it's still not getting together with people. But our church really only went to like no services for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then we brought everybody back. Really following COVID policies and stuff like that, social distancing, masks, and everything. And then we stopped the masks probably about a month and a half ago, maybe now.
Oh, in the church?
Yeah, so we weren't requiring masks at one point. Probably about a month and a half ago now.
Oh, so yeah. We still have to wear them at church, and we will, because the mandate in Illinois is if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear one. But if you're not fully vaccinated, you have to wear one.
Yeah,
that's what the change was made.
Our lovely legislative system in Wisconsin has the governor says, all right, there's a mask mandate. And then the Republican legislature says, oh, by the way, no, you don't have the power to do that. So no mask mandate. So that's been this whole, 15 months or whatever it's been that we've been. Yeah, it's been just, hey, we're going to restrict the number of people in that can get together in an enclosed space. Oh, well, actually, that's not constitutional. You can't do that. And it just keeps going back and forth. Even like that.
Every other state did it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And then, the initial mask mandate took hold or went into effect. Mm-hmm. And the entire police force in the state of Wisconsin said, oh, by the way, we're not enforcing that. So this has been fun.
That's one word for it.
Yeah. But I'm really excited that you got to spend time with friends and stuff like that. That's good. It's good to be getting on the other side of all this.
Amen. What about you, Mitch? What's delighting you?
Well, I picked up a little game um, that I'm super excited about. So those of you who know the Oatmeal and Exploding Kittens,
Such a good game.
Exploding Kittens is awesome.
It's
That's
so
a fun game.
It's great.
So they have come out with some really cool games. I think well, we just talked about Poetry for Neanderthals an episode or two back.
It's so good.
I so want to play that, but we haven't had a bunch of people together to do that. Exploding Kittens, obviously, and all the expansions. What's the Throw Burrito?
That's a fun one too.
Which looks fun. And I'm probably missing one or two. But
on a scale of 0 to T-Rex is a charades. Their version of charades.
Oh,
it's pretty fun. You have to play that game with the right people because you do nothing but make an absolute fool of yourself the whole time, which is why I love it. Like straight up I'll act like an idiot. I don't care.
Yep.
That's my default mode.
Well, you are a youth pastor, so.
what are you trying to say, Mitch?
I'm just saying it's prerequisite. So.
Anyways, yes. So the game that you got is drumroll.
A little wordy.
What's a little wordy?
A little wordy. So with the pandemic, they decided that they needed to come up with a game that you can just play with your significant other. Because, I'll tell you that my wife and I like to play games, and we'll pick up a game and we'll play it together. And there's just something missing because really a lot of these games are designed for groups, maybe having like 4 people or 6 people to play the games. Card games, especially, you want a group of people to play a game. It's more fun that way. Yeah. And my folks love playing games. So, we play with them. We'll play Sequence or what are the other games that we play with them? No, not Parcheesi. But whatever. But the trouble is that you play these games with 2 people and they just they fall a little bit short. So what they set out to do is to create a game that you could play with 2 people and it was fun and challenging and it was a good time. So they came up with a little wordy, which if you catch the play on words there is based on a little birdie. So it is bird themed. It comes with a sticker, by the way, which I think is hilarious. So I have a little wordy sticker. I haven't decided what I'm going to put it on yet. But the game is a tile game, like a word tile game. And it's played a little bit differently than it's not a Scrabble game. I think that's the one thing that you might think right away when you look at it because of the tile aspect of it. But the goal in the game is to collect berry tokens. And you are given tiles. So you take, we haven't played this yet, by the way, but I'm really excited about it. But you take 4 vowel tiles and 7 consonant tiles. And when you get it, you come up with a word from those tiles. And you write that word down. There's little boards in this game that you fold out, and it hides the word that you're writing down. So you write this word down with a little dry erase pen marker or whatever, and then fold that back up, and you set that on the table in front of you. And now there is a notes section on here, so you can make notes about what you think their word is. But once you are done figuring out what your word is, you trade tiles with the other person, and now you got to figure out what the word that they pulled out of those letters was. And you do that by using these cards. They have cards. I haven't taken these out of the plastic yet, but they have cards that you put out. I think it's 3 cards or 4 cards per category. There is I got to look at the rules here. Hold on. Have you played this yet?
No.
You said you had it.
No, I'd seen it. I haven't purchased it.
Oh, you haven't purchased it. Okay. So there's vanilla cards and spicy cards. So the vanilla cards give you vanilla clues to figure out what the word is. And the spicy clues also give you those, but they're a little tricky. It says they require a give and take of information, but when used properly, they can be powerful tools for figuring out your opponent's secret word. So the whole idea is to try and figure out the secret word using as few clues as possible, because every time you use a clue, you give the other person berry coins, and those berry coins determine the winner of the game. So whoever has more berry coins at the end of the game wins the game. So, and there's a few other aspects to the game, but I think we're going to be playing it later today to try it out, and then we are going to take it on vacation with us when we go, because like I was telling you before we recorded, we've got a 5-hour layover in at O'Hare on the way down there, and I think almost close to 5 hours on the way back too. So we're gonna have plenty of times to sit down and have fun and play games. And I've got all the letter tiles I got to pop out of the things here. And there's the berry tokens. There's fun berry token. Oh, that's not berry token. There was another card of berry tokens in here, I thought. Oh, there it is. So lots of berry tokens, and so we'll get those punched out here today, and it'll be fun. It looks like a cool game, and because my wife and I like to play games together, just the two of us, this should be perfect for us. So a little wordy by the guys that make Exploding Kittens.
That's so good.
Yeah.
You'll have to let me know how it is. It looks like it's fun.
Yeah, I think it will be. So I learned from my mom, really, my competitiveness. My wife's not very competitive, so I think she's gotten a little bit more competitive. She'll probably deny that, but I think she's gotten a little bit more competitive since we've been married. So, but it should be fun.
Crush him, Jamie. Crush him.
So I don't know if I have ever told this story on the podcast before, but my wife and I met in college. And probably a year before that, I told my best friend that the girl that I'm going to marry is going to beat me at Scrabble the first time we play. The whole concept was, and then this became my test, but the whole concept was, I want a smart girl. That was my goal. I wanted a smart girl that because I don't think that I could have handled someone that wasn't smart. I'll just say it that way. So we didn't know each other maybe a month or so, and she didn't realize what was going on, but I pulled out Scrabble and it's like, hey, would you like to play Scrabble? And she's like, well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You romantic.
And right. So we sat down and we were playing Scrabble, and she beat me. And so I'm like, all right, this is good. So we went
on the spot.
No, I should have, but that would have been funny. But no. But I will say that Bible college is a great place to get engaged, as so many people go to get engaged. And we were engaged by the end of the year, so it was good. Were we engaged No, we weren't engaged by the end of the year. I did give her a promise ring by the end of the year, though. I know, we were kids. It's goofy, but we were kids. So anyway,
the origin story of Mitch and Jamie.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been doing a little bit of that reminiscing lately, because we're going to be married 20 years on June 9th. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of years.
It's a lot of years, man. But we often joke we're going to be married for 20 years, and it was 19 years of wedded bliss. So we got all the crap in the first year, and it's been great ever since. So,
well, good thing you guys figured it out.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And we're going to Galaxy's Edge, so I'm super pumped about it. So excited. can't even tell you.
Years of Wedded Bliss and Galaxy's Edge.
And Galaxy's Edge. If I get out of Galaxy's Edge without spending like $800 on stuff, I'm going to be lucky. There is so much stuff there that I'm excited about. So
that'll be good. I'm excited to hear about it.
Cool. Yeah, that next episode is going to be packed. It's going to be tough not to do like a 2 or 3 hour episode. So we might just have to double up. Maybe split it into 2 episodes.
Yeah, we will see.
I'm not going to be able to wait. Let's just put it that way. If we spend like an hour and a half talking about the Apple announcements the week prior, and then I don't get to talk about Galaxy's Edge at all, I'm not going to be able to wait 2 weeks. That's going to be crazy. Although we are going to probably have to mail back a bunch of the stuff that we get. So I may not have everything here to talk about anyway. So we'll see. Because, of course, I'm going to have to, if I get any lightsabers, I'm going to have to let you guys hear what they sound like and stuff like that. Because they're all pretty distinct in the way they sound. So
we shall see.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh, and we're going to go to Universal Studios while we're down there, too, because we got to go to all the Harry Potter stuff down there. And we'll get wands. And I'm going to be... I'm planning on taking plenty of video and pictures while we're down there. And my Instagram should be pretty active with stuff. Between Instagram and YouTube, I'm planning on putting a bunch of stuff up there. So yeah, you can check me out. I think, if you're listening to the podcast and you want to kind of be clued in on this stuff, I'm Radio Mitch on Instagram. And I think you can find me on YouTube that way. Probably the easiest thing to do is to just go to subversiveblack.com. That is my website, and I have links there to my Instagram and my YouTube page. So YouTube channel. I sound like an old fart saying YouTube page. YouTube channel. So I think that's the right nomenclature, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your channel.
All right. Thanks, Sonny.
Yeah, them there videos on the interwebs.
Oh boy.
This one's about a squirrel riding a bike.
Which, by the way, is hilarious. Have you seen the surfing squirrel?
I've seen a water skiing squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, the water skiing squirrel. We just recently, I've known about Mark Roper for a while, but I just recently
that squirrel video he did. Yeah.
No, I don't. Oh, the squirrel. Yeah, the squirrel.
Like
obstacle course,
the American Squirrel Challenge. Instead of
he's got two versions of that. You know that, right? He just did version 2.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh! My wife and I sat and laughed so hard. It was so funny to watch these squirrels. He is so entertaining.
Yeah.
We watched his Jello pool episode this morning. That was pretty entertaining. What I love about it is he's an engineer's engineer. So he explains not only like what he did, but how he managed to do it all and the engineering challenges that they had to overcome. And I find that so fascinating. And then to have the payoff at the end to watch how, like, what the result was is just hilarious. So
good old YouTube.
Yeah, this stuff is good. And we've been watching a lot of stuff, a lot of travel blog stuff to prepare for our vacation as well on YouTube. So that's been fun. I like the YouTubes.
It is. There's plenty of terrible stuff on there, but when you find the good stuff, it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, I don't watch terrible stuff, just the good stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, if you'd like to find out more about Cam and I and the podcast, maybe go back and listen to previous episodes, you can find us at innerdialogue.show. We do have all the links there that you need to subscribe in your podcast player of choice. And you can find us pretty much anywhere. If you do go to, say, the Apple Podcasts or anything like that, please leave us a review and 5 stars if you could. Help us to get the word out about the podcast. It'd be great. And you can find Cam and I both on Twitter. I'm at Mitch Craig.
I'm also at Mitch Craig.
That's not true.
No, Cam Brennan.
Cam Brennan.
Yep.
And you can find us both on Instagram. You have a
Same.
YouTube channel as well, correct?
I haven't put a video on YouTube in ages.
Oh, all
So
right. Well,
if you want to see bad videos that I made like 5 years ago, go for it.
All right.
They're not good.
And I'm sure that anything you need to know about Cam Brennan is at cambrennan.com.
Yeah, I'm very creative in how I name my things.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? It's easily found. So very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to our next episode as we get to talk about WWDC. So, and other stuff. So it should be fun.
Listeners can't hear, but I was doing the evil villain like finger tapping high.
The finger tapping?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Anyways.
I feel like I need to grab my cat and pet him.
Time to go.
All right, man. Well, take her easy, man. Have a good week.
Get to the chopper, Mitch.
Get to the chopper.